Hi, my name is Martin, and with our team, we are cutting Windows. There are millions of people that work with Windows for more than a decade. Imagine a world where the user interface was made individually for each one of them. A designer would come to your home, you would talk for a few hours, and then he would alter the interface of your favorite application exactly as you need it to be. Unfortunately, this is not possible. But let's take a look at the solution Lifescreen offers. As easily as you can select a text with your mouse, you can select the part of a window you want to use. You can set window attributes and completely shield yourself from all disruptive and waste content. As you can see, Lifescreen can easily deal with problems like separating windows from virtual machines and remote desktops. But Lifescreen isn't just an application. It is a whole evolutionary step of windowing systems and completely new approach of its development. The main reason behind Lifescreen is that we are all different. We have different needs and we do things differently. This doesn't apply just to our lives, but also to the way we interact with a computer. A perfect example of this is me and my friend Michael. We are the same age, we study the same university, and we even work at the same company. And yet, sometimes we find ourselves debating hours about things like the position of the Windows taskbar. At the beginning, there was a question for the developers: where should we move it? Some people like it at the side, some at the bottom, and some even like it at the top of the screen. So what is the solution? One would be sticking it to the side, right? It's more compact and doesn't take as much space. The second solution is putting it at the bottom or top of the screen. It means more space for more stuff. But the finest solution would be giving the user the freedom of choosing where to move it. And exactly this is our goal with Lifescreen. We want to give every user the absolute freedom of working with any application. Our goal is for every user to be able to customize any window as he needs, and if he wants to, change it completely. But beside that, Lifescreen comes with a solution to several substantial problems. The first of them is using the web applications in a desktop environment. The core of this problem is that we can't use web applications as typical windows, and so we are forced to work with them inside a browser. So we lose the power of 30 years of development on powerful concept of windowing systems. The second problem is complex interfaces. With the current trend of things getting smaller, some applications just keep getting bigger. The problem isn't that they do more stuff, but that we are exposed to this redundant content 99% of the time when we don't actually need it. If we could separate this redundant content from the effective one, we would end up with much more space for productive work. The third problem is dealing with large number of open windows and finding a better way to use virtual desktops. And finally, navigation in complex applications. How often does this happen? When we need to find a feature in an application and navigate ourselves, this is extremely time consuming. Maybe not in a matter of days, but in a matter of months and years, especially when we end up on the internet watching video showing us how to do something. Lifescreen costs less than 1 hour of your work. So how does Lifescreen solve these problems? The first and biggest advantage of Lifescreen is what it can do with individual windows. It allows you to carve up complex applications, crop and reduce redundant window content to the effective part you want to use. Any web application, you can crop it and make it easily accessible as a Windows application. The illustration shows a cropped part of a YouTube video with enabled always on top. You will appreciate this especially when watching tutorials and working with a new or complex environment, or for following movement of important data like stock prices. You can also set attributes like opacity, bind hotkeys, and aggregate related windows to a virtual group. Let's get to the final solution, which is navigation in complex environments. Lifescreen enables you to search through any application as easily as you can search a word in a text. This will save you a ton of time. The technologies we currently use are Windows API and .NET Framework. .NET is an ideal tool for fast and agile development, and especially Windows Presentation Foundation for faster GUI development and beautiful animations. We also use Microsoft Azure for feedback collection and plugin systems. We have already proven that our goals are achievable, and now we need to finish Lifescreen and get it to people. We are planning to run a Kickstarter campaign at the beginning of August. We want to promote Lifescreen through social media, technical forums and other technical networks like CNET or TechCrunch. Kira will take appointed publications, and we believe that at the end of the campaign we will have distribution deals with some OEM vendors. The question remains, will people be interested? Lifescreen covers desktop customization and desktop enhancement segment. Here are mostly widgets, applications for visual enhancements, but most importantly, applications that supplement the system shortcomings like Start menu to Windows 8. Here is also part of our competition, but none with such capabilities as Lifescreen has. Out of 10 people, 9 would love to use Lifescreen. 5 would pay for it, and 2 would pay more than $10. Lifescreen targets 1 billion of desktop devices forgotten by startup scene. But in a time, we would also love to add a multi-touch support for mobile devices. Our early adopters are developers, graphics designers, and geeks for which the applications are obvious, but we target even wider audience. Windows majority, which are students, and regular users like gamers. Due to the application nature, we target a global market, and based on multiple meetings with professionals, we have decided to use freemium model for the product distribution. Here we can see individual features as they'd be available on different versions of Lifescreen. The most notable here is the last but one, plugins. To lure developers beside regular users, we have decided to add a plugin system. This would be the perfect spot for developers to put up their work, from which we intend to take 10% of the profit margin. At the beginning, we have told that Lifescreen is also a concept of how to build windowing systems. We believe that users should have the right to participate on this, and this is why we want our development to go along with the crowdfunding principles. It is based on the user feedback on individual features and the requests for new ones. Our biggest expenses will be software licenses for commercial use, certificates, and our time, which we are willing to give. We would also like to hire a few more people so we could focus more on marketing and distribution. Okay, come on here, guys. So currently we are free. I take care for the graphical part of the application, and here with Michael, who has already some experience with startups. We work at the same company and we share the same passion for development of modern applications. The third person in our team is Christian. He is Michael's great friend and since high school, and he is our database and marketing specialist. We work under the auspice of Michael Zacharias, CEO of Safirio and finalist of the 2013 ImagineCup. Our goal is to provide a whole new dimension of productive work with the Windows. And if you want to try to cut Windows yourself, go to livescreen.com and download the preview version of our application. Thank you for your attention.